Hi everybody, and welcome to Phase 1 Stability. I'm Bob Forster, physical therapist, performance specialist, and developer of Herbalife 24 Fit. Phase 1 is all about maximizing your joint stability. You've got to build your body from the ground up. First by laying a foundation, and then by building something solid. Joint stability is the foundation of all strength and conditioning programs. It's going to preserve your joint health, improve posture, and it's going to prepare your body for the harder workouts to come in Phase 2 and 3. We're going to achieve stability by blending strength and flexibility. Over the next 8 weeks, we're going to strengthen the muscles that help align the bones at the joints. We're going to work on flexibility to achieve a full and proper range of motion. Here's how it works. First, we're going to start with careful instruction of the stretching exercises. Then we're going to move on to exercises using small weights, dumbbells, and your own body weight to isolate and strengthen these little helper muscles of each joint. These are the muscles that many athletes ignore, but they're vital to getting the most out of your workouts later. Strengthening these muscles is at the core of your injury prevention program. But strength and flexibility aren't the only components of Phase 1. We're going to start your metabolic training, which is going to increase your metabolism so that you burn more calories all day long. We'll do this with low-intensity routines that are focused on continuous movement, which will actually reprogram your body to burn fats both faster and more efficiently. It's not just about doing things harder, it's about doing them smarter. Even though these first phase workouts are low intensity, after just 2 or 3 weeks, you'll start to notice an increased freedom of movement and feeling more energy in your everyday life. Your joints will feel and function noticeably better, and you'll know you're on the right path. As you progress through the first 8 weeks, you'll notice Sam and Tom will be coaching 3 different levels of athletes. Pick the one that is performing the exercises most comfortable for you and progress from there to the more advanced levels over the 8 weeks. Remember, as you do this work, nutrition is an essential component of any fitness program, and hydration is an essential component of nutrition. This is especially the case when considering functions like joint lubrication. As you start with Phase 1, be conscious of your fluid intake throughout the day, and consider using a serving or 2 of hydrate for additional fluid and electrolytes. Success with any exercise program is consistency, so stick with it. If you miss a day, be sure to get right back on schedule. Get ready, everyone. You're about to become 24-hour athletes.
Hi, I'm Samantha, and I'm going to be your coach today through Phase 1 spine and pelvis stabilization exercises. Now, nobody likes to work out with strangers, so let me introduce you to your workout partners for today. We have Megan, Carol, and Richie. Now, they're going to be representing 3 different levels of exercising. We have level 1, level 2, and level 3. So if you're new to exercising, I want you to keep a close eye on Megan because that's the exercises I'd like you to do. Level 2, if you've been exercising for a while and as you get the hang of your exercises, you're going to progress to level 2. And my elite athletes, and as my Phase 1 and 2 get strong, this is what we're aiming for. We're aiming to work out like Richie. So with that being said, let's start with some nice deep breathing breaths. So what we're going to do is, I want you to stand with your feet shoulder width apart, and I want you to stand up nice and tall and just take in 5 deep breaths. Now, as you're breathing in and out, I want you to belly breathe, and that means it's the only time I'm ever going to ask you to stick your tummy out, but I want you to breathe the air into your stomach. So breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth, and I want you to do 5 nice deep breaths. It's going to help you to relax. It's going to help you to prepare for our workout. So give me 3 more deep breaths, 2 more, our last one, and let's move on to our posture check. Now, we're going to stand in correct posture. As the day goes on, we all tend to stand slouched over, and I'm going to teach you your correct posture. So you're going to stand with your feet shoulder width apart, and the first thing you're going to do is you're going to lift your chest high. You're going to put your shoulders down, have your hands nice by your sides. I want you to make sure that your chin's high and everything's going to be in line. My hips are in line, my knees and toes are facing forwards, And this is a great posture here. Always your abs are always tight. We always want to work on our abs. So keep your abs nice and tight. Your hands are down by your side and your palms are facing in towards your body. So with that being said, let's move on to our first stretch, which is called the head hang. Now, it is what it says it is. It's a head hang. We're going to hang our head forward, just nice and gently. I want you to hang your head and look down at the floor, relaxing into the stretch. And then I want you to slowly go across to one arm. I want you to just tilt across to one arm, and I want you to hold this stretch, and you're really going to feel a stretch right down this side of your neck. It's going to help you relax. I want you to breathe while you're stretching. I want you to relax into the stretch, and then we're going to come back to the center. I want you to look back up, and then let's go back down and repeat this stretch on the other side. So down we go, look across, and just hold that stretch right there. Just hold. We're going to hold for a good 15 seconds on all our stretches, because that really gives your body a chance to relax into the stretch. We never want to force into our stretches, we just want to relax. Right, come back up to center, and let's move on to our next exercise, which is really going to address behind our shoulders. So it's called a cross chest because you're going to pull your arm across your chest. Nice and simple. So I want you to take one arm and cross it across your chest, being sure to hold just behind your elbow. And make sure that you keep your shoulders down. We have a tendency to come up here, but I want you to keep it nice and low, stretch across, and just hold that right there. Now, let's come back to center, and let's repeat the same stretch on the opposite side. Again, every time I do this, I really have to focus on keeping my shoulders relaxed, remembering my posture. We have to remember to breathe. Awesome. Just 4 more seconds. Really feel that stretch and relax. Now my next exercise, it has a funny name, but don't let it put you off. It's called the penguin because we're going to make little wings. I want you to pretend to put your arms in your back pockets here and pull your elbows forward. Now, as you're doing this stretch, I want you to really be careful to keep your chin high, your chest high, and where I want you to focus is on pulling your elbows forward. I want you to really pull your elbows forward. You feeling that stretch right through your shoulders? Awesome. So just hold that stretch for 3 more seconds. Wonderful. And then we'll move on to our next stretch, which is our standing upper trap. So what I want you to do is I want you to take one arm and place it behind your back. And with your other arm, I want you to grab your arm just above your wrist. We never want to pull on our wrist. We don't want to disjoint ourselves here. We just want to get a nice stretch. So I want you to gently pull down. And then again, as we did with our head hang, I want you to just glance over at your opposite arm. That will really increase the tension of the stretch through the back of your shoulders and through your neck. So it will feel really good, get an extra stretch there, looking good. Right, now come back to neutral. Remember, always come back to neutral. Shake it out a little if you need to, and then move across and stretch the other side. Grab above the wrist, really pulling your arm down, and then looking across. Just a nice look across into that opposite shoulder. Awesome. Should be really feeling good. We're starting to relax. We're focusing on breathing because our belly breaths that we do really helps increase the oxygen flow to your muscles because you're taking in extra oxygen with the deep breaths. Now bring that stretch down, and we're going to move on to our next stretch, which is really going to open up your chest area. It's a standing pec stretch. So again, find your nice posture, feet are shoulder width apart, and I just want you to cross your fingers at the back of your neck here. I want you to focus. Do not pull forward. Don't pull your neck forward. Stand up nice and tall and pull your elbows back. This is really going to open up your chest here. It's really going to help loosen off your back also. And again, everything we do, we're standing nice and tall and relax back down. Now our next exercise that we're going to do, we're going to move on to what's called our standing upper tricep stretch. You ready for this? Okay, so I want you to take one arm up high, and I want you to put it down your back, through the center of your back, and use your opposite arm to gently push down on your elbow. So you can really feel the stretch down this back side of your arm here. You should really be feeling it through here. And I want you to be very mindful that you're not pushing your head forward. We want to make sure that your head's back and you're really just stretching out the muscle that we want you to stretch. So bring that back down to neutral, and let's go up the other side, arm up high, nice deep breath, push down, hold that stretch. Every time you do these stretches, you're going to improve your flexibility. Every time you do it, you're going to be able to stretch a little bit better. You're going to be a bit more efficient at the stretches. And every time we stretch, you're going to get better at controlling your breath, making sure you're taking in lots of oxygen, you're breathing out, and relax. Awesome. Now we've finished stretching upper body, so it's time to take it down to the floor. Position your mat horizontal to your screen so you can see what we're doing. Now you'll notice that your workout partners are using the risers, and that's so that you can see at home the proper alignment for the exercises. So some of the exercises, we're going to ask you to look down at the floor. So see what we're doing first and then position yourself to look down at the floor. Now our first exercise is really going to address disc health. So what I want you to do is have your heels facing out, and that's going to relax your glutes before we start our push-up. So your hands are at your chest. Women can put their hands out a little bit wider because it makes it a little bit easier. And then I want you to go ahead and press up. Now, as you feel your hips come off the mat, that's the time that you're going to go back down, remembering to breathe, coming back up and back down. Remembering to breathe the whole time through this exercise. Again, remembering to keep our glutes nice and relaxed. Your feet are turned out. And again, like I said, now that you've seen the exercise, be sure that your eyes are looking straight down in front of you, because that's going to protect your neck, because your neck is going to be in a perfect alignment with your back. And you're going to keep going. And give me a few more. We just have 4 more to go. You should really feel this opening up your back. You're really getting a good stretch from this exercise. We have 2 more to go. Feels good? Awesome. 1 more. And relax. Now it's time to flip over onto your back. And the first thing I'm going to have you do here is do a pelvic tilt. Now a pelvic tilt, what that does is it's going to eliminate the space between yourself and the floor. So you're basically just going to tuck your pelvis under, and again, we're going to protect your spine while you're doing this. Your feet are shoulder width apart. And our exercise here is a beginning pelvic rotation. We're really going to be loosening up the pelvis with this exercise. So I want you to engage your abdominal muscles, and then I want you to slowly and carefully lower your legs down to the floor. And then position your heel of your top leg on top of the other. And you should really feel this stretch right through here, right through your back. You really start feeling the stretch. Again, it's very, very gradual. You're going to really slowly open up, remembering to breathe. Now, as you come up, I want you to engage your abdominal muscles first, come up, reposition your feet, do your pelvic tilt again, and then slowly lower to the other side. The pelvic tilt's so important for a lot of our exercises because it really does protect your lower back, and it also makes you engage your core muscles. And our program, as Bob has taught us, is really about stabilizing your core muscles to make sure that you're strong. We're talking about pelvis stability, we're talking about hip health, and so that's why we're going to really focus on our core. Come back up to the center and relax right here. Wonderful. So like I said, we're going to really work on core. Our next exercise is called the pretzel, but don't reach for your snacks. Just reach for that leg that's closest to the screen and cross it over your other one. All we're going to do here is I want you to put one arm on top of your knee, and I want you to pull that knee up towards your opposite shoulder. Now, you can feel comfortable and keep one leg on the floor, or you get a better stretch by having both feet elevated. So I want you to hold that. You should really feel this stretch right through your glutes. You're going to feel it in the side of your glutes. And again, remembering to breathe, slowly coming back down, uncross, take a deep breath, pelvic tilt, and now switch to the other side. Pull up. Awesome. Now you'll hear me talk all the time about coming back to a neutral position. And the reason our neutral position is so important is because we never just want to switch from one side to the next. We want every motion to be very purposeful. I want you to make sure you're stretching the right muscles, and I want to make sure that you're breathing and working your core. Slowly come back down, always coming out of the stretch the same way that you went in. Now our next exercise really addresses the inner thigh. So I want you to lift one leg up at a time to a 90-degree angle, place your hands on the inside of your knees, and then slowly push out and down. Again, with this exercise for me, I always have a tendency to pull my knees. I want to pull my knees up towards my chest. That's not what I want you to do. I want you to keep this nice position, and I want you to make sure that you're pushing out and down, that you're breathing and you're relaxing into the stretch. You really relax into it, and each time you do it, you'll get further and further apart. Come back to the center, put one foot down at a time. And our next exercise, we're going to be working our quads, my runner's quads here. I want you to go into a side lying position. So as you turn over onto your side, I want you to be sure that you keep your one leg bent here. Again, we're always addressing spinal health. So I want you to keep your leg bent, and then I want you to reach down and grab your leg at your laces at your foot, and I want you to pull your foot towards your glute muscle. And you're going to feel a stretch right here through your quad. Now take a quick peek and notice that as she's lying down here, she's lying on her arm and she's in a perfectly straight line. Her hips are stacked one on top of the other. She's really relaxing into her stretch, and then she's going to slowly come out of this stretch. Great job. And then I want you to switch around to the other side so we can stretch out the other side. Again, as you lie down, remember your cues. You're going to lie down, you're going to have everything aligned, and then you're going to lift your leg up, grabbing at your laces. Great job. I want you to really pull up. And now as you're looking down, look down at your knee. And if you can see your knee, it means your hips aren't quite stacked correctly. So I want you to pull back. There you go. And you should really start slowly feeling your quad loosening off, making sure that you keep your core nice and tight. Hold that stretch for one more second. Come back down. And it's time for another fancy animal name stretch. It's called the cat back, and this requires you being on all fours. As you come up onto all fours, what I want you to do is, I'm going to use Richie now to explain this exercise. But first you'll notice hips are in line with your knees, shoulders are in line with your wrists, and I want you to reach up. Notice how his back is arched high, and he's going to hold this stretch right here, and then as he comes down, he's always going to come back down into a neutral position. Let's go back up into that stretch again now that you've got the mechanics of it. While you're up, it's almost as if somebody's pulling you up. His core's really tight. I can feel his six-pack. You're feeling good. Awesome. Hold that stretch for 4 more seconds. And come down and relax. Now, let's move on. While we're on our knees, we're going to move on to our hip flexor stretch. So come up onto your knees and then take one leg out straight in front of you. Your hands are on your hips. We're going to feel this stretch right through your hip flexor. So it's very important that your back's nice and straight, your head's looking forward, you're remembering to smile because this stretch feels really good, and you're going to make sure that your knee never goes in front of your toe. I'm going to use Carol here as an example. I want you to make sure that your knee never crosses your toe, and again, we're always trying to protect our joints for this exercise. And now we're going to stretch out the back of your leg. We're going to stretch out our hamstring. So what I want you to do is, I want you to come up nice and tall first, and I want you to make sure that you hinge at your hips. You hinge forward. It's often common to bend forward, but again, we want to keep a nice straight back. I want you to hinge forward, and I want you to feel this stretch right through your hamstring. Great job. 1 more second. And now flex your toe towards your shin. And this is going to take the focus of the stretch to your calf muscle. You're going to be stretching out your calf muscle, remembering the same principles. Your chest is high and you're flexed at your hips. As the stretch starts to release, I want you to release, pull your toe towards your shin and then release off and switch to the other side. Great job. Let's stretch the hip flexor on the other side. Remembering your knees are always shoulder width apart here. Notice her alignment. She's feet are spread. She looks good. Stretching out. Her hip flexor right on this opposite side. Feeling good? Yeah, feels good. Perfect. You're feeling the stretch where you're supposed to feel it. It'll take a while. You'll just really ease into your stretch. And now this time, as you come back into your hamstring stretch, I'm going to teach you about a principle called the subsiding tension principle of stretching. And basically what that means is, as you feel a stretch here, hinge forward, good job. Now as you feel this stretch, when you get to the point that the stretch feels quite intense, you back up from the stretch. And as it relaxes, then you stretch back into the stretch. And what this does is, over time, it's really going to improve your flexibility. Your hamstrings are going to become lengthened. And it feels awesome. Feeling good? Now let's switch back into the calf stretch again, sitting back further, pulling your toe up towards your shin, sitting back. There you go. You should really now start feeling that in the back of your calves on this leg. Wonderful. Really should feel that. 2 more seconds for holding. 2, 1, and relax. So we've prepared ourselves with our flexibility exercises, and now it's time to move on to our first exercise of our spine and pelvis stabilization. So if you're at home, grab your ankle weights if you're a level 2 or 3 exerciser, and if you're new to exercising, no need to grab any ankle weights. Just get yourself ready, lie on your back, and get ready to go. Now days for me tend to get really busy, so in the mornings, I have Formula 1 Sport because it's a great energizing meal before workouts. You can grab it for lunch. It's awesome. Right, ankle weights are ready. I want you lying flat on your back. This time, I don't want you to eliminate the space between yourself and the floor. No pelvic tilt. Feet are flat. Take one arm straight over your head. Nice job. Engage your abdominal muscles, making this sound. So I'm going to engage your abdominal muscles and start switching them arms, alternating your arms, making sure your palms are facing in, making sure you breathe. You've made that sound, you've connected your abdominal muscles, and I want you to continue to breathe the whole time while holding your core nice and tight, nice and firm. I don't want your arms slapping down on the mat. I want them just to keep moving back and forth, palms facing in. Give me 2 more, 1 more, and relax. Now our next exercise is just a continuation. I want you to lift one knee at a time up to a 90-degree angle. Awesome. Put that arm back behind your head again, and I want you to hold your knees here, and I want you to begin switching again, but make the sound. Psst. And switch, switch, switch. Now keep that rhythm going. Remember to breathe the whole time. And now what I want you to do is, notice that my beginner exerciser, she's really focusing here on keeping her abdominal muscles tight and just focusing on the arm movement, lifting arms at the same time, one after another. She's going to keep it going. She's breathing and relax. Now our third continuation of this exercise that we're moving on to involves, it's called the dead bug. Fancy name, but we're going to get going with it. So my beginner exercises, stay where you are. My intermediate, stay where you are. Put your arm back, make the sound, engage the abs, and watch my elite exerciser as he incorporates his legs, putting his heel to the floor. Switch, switch, switch. Great job. Now notice that his knee angle never changes. He's working his hip, he's working your abdominal muscles, he's working his arms, just remembering that rhythm. Now this is an exercise that Bob has used because it really works your core in a diagonal line. We're working your transverse abdominal muscles, and relax. Great job. Now we're moving on to a completely different exercise. Dead bug's over, and we're moving on to what's called a partial sit-up. So you're in a perfect position. However, engage your pelvic tilt now. Tilt your pelvis, engage your abs, place your arms up towards your knees, and I want you to lift up, making sure you maintain a chin tuck. As you come up, we're going to hold for 5 seconds and come back down. Now come back up again. It's really important here that as you feel your shoulder blades come off the floor, come back down. As your shoulder blades are off the floor, that's where you stop. Come straight back up. Nice job remembering to breathe the whole time. Back down, come back up, and back down. This is the only time I'm ever going to tell you to give me a double chin. It feels like a double chin, but it allows you to keep your head, tilt your head slightly to the ceiling here. Back down you go. We just have 3 more to go. Lift up, remembering all them cues. Our abs are engaged, your neck's in alignment. Back down you go. Let's make these 2 perfect. Up you go, and back down. Great job, Meg. We just have 1 more left. Up you go, hold, and relax. Great job, guys. Right, we're gonna move on to our next exercise, which is a front plank. Now, the front plank really requires a lot of strength, but we're ready for it. So turn over, and I want you to make sure you align yourself, that your shoulders are in line with your wrists. Meg's on her knees because she's my beginner exerciser, and everybody else come up onto your toes. It's really important that you engage your abdominal muscles here, and this is a position that you're just gonna hold. You're gonna make sure that you're breathing the whole time. You're gonna make sure that your body is firm like a plank. I could rest my cup of tea right here. She's not gonna move because her core is solid, her hamstrings are tight, everything is in alignment, and we're holding for 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and come back down to your knees. We're gonna do that 1 more time. You've remembered your cues, so this time we're really gonna focus as we go back up into position. I want you to focus on breathing. So while you're in this position, I want you to really focus on your breath. Breathing in, breathing out, keeping this nice straight line, making sure that your eyes are looking straight down at the floor. Now, we all have a tendency to lift our tush. It's a bit too high, so I want you to push down, really keeping in that nice alignment. Hold that for 1 more second and come back down onto your hands and knees. Stay right there because our next exercise is also on hands and knees. What I want you to do is, I want you to lift one arm up to 90 degrees. Great job. And then extend your opposite leg back. And I want you to lift it just an inch off the floor. Staying tight in your core. And I want you to lift your heel to hamstring and then relax back down. Heel to hamstring and back down. Now, this exercise is great because you're working across diagonal part of your body. You're working your core, you're working your hamstring. When you select your weights for this exercise, it's important that you pick only 1 to 2 pounds. It may seem light, but in this exercise, when you're in this position, it will feel like 5 pounds. 2 pounds feels like 5 pounds. So select your weights low. And make sure that you keep your angles at 90 degrees the whole time. So I want your arm up. Nice job. Again, every time you come down, you want to make sure that you're only coming down to 2 inches off the floor at the very most, an inch at best. Last one, and relax. And let's go to the other side. Take a deep breath before we switch. Again, engaging your abdominal muscles. Nice wide stance. Widen your knees a little bit for me, Carol. Improve that stability base. Great job. Now lift up one arm. Then lift up the leg, straighten it out back. Now lift it off the ground and lift heel to glute, back down, heel to glute, and back down. Great job. Looking good, Meg. How's that feeling? You're looking nice and stable. Just want to adjust your hips here. There you go. Perfect position, arms up. She's looking good. Back's nice and straight. Great job. Keep it going. Wonderful. This exercise is great because, again, it's working opposites. You've got one arm up, you're working your opposite leg. Your core's having to work so hard just to keep you in this position that it's great for hamstring, for your core, your arms staying stable. Give me 3 more. Give me 1 more. 1 more after this. I'm sorry. 1 more. Give me 1 more. Relax, take a deep breath, and let's move on to our next set of the same exercise. So you've got the cues now, so now you can focus on breathing. Get set, hold your abs tight, arms up, legs back, lift the leg, and let's lift to glute, back down, lift to your glute, and back down. Now, it takes a few times to get this exercise right, and that's okay. You might feel a little bit wobbly, and if you are, you just take that time to reset yourself, widen your hips here, put your one knee wider than the other, find a stable base, and then start lifting and dropping, lifting and dropping. As you're doing the exercise, your arm's going to have a tendency to drop down. You really have to focus in this exercise to keep your arm in that position, because it's so important that we're working your core the right way. So you're looking good there. How you feeling, Richie? You're doing good? You look great. Your position's great. And relax. And take a deep breath. Position yourself, ready to go for this next set. Lift up, making sure your arm's at 90. And again, we really want to make sure that you're looking down at the floor. You're occasionally going to pick up heel to glute, back down, heel to glute, and back down. Every now and again, you're going to have to glance to make sure, look what we're doing. But always make sure you put your eyes back down into neutral position so that your neck is protected. You're working your abs, breathing. Let's concentrate now for these last few on taking deep breaths in, breathing out, and do a quick body check. I always check when I'm doing exercise. I think about my neck, I think about my arm, I think about my core, I think about my leg. And as you do that, you're focusing on your exercise. Give me 2 more. The more you do it, the better you'll get. Great job. And relax. Take a deep breath. Whip your ankle weights off for you, just for you, Carol. So my exercises that are my level 3, my elite athletes, I want you to keep your leg weights on. We're going to go into a side lying position now, because we're going to work on hip adduction and hip abduction. So lie on your side. I want you to make sure that you're lying on your arm, nice straight, your hips are stacked. We're going to be working your leg that's on the bottom. So I want you to take that front leg and put it in front. Great job. I want you to flex your toe. We call this, Bob calls this, called locked and loaded. You're going to lock your heel, you're going to lock your knee, and then we're going to lift up for me. And then come back down. Nice job. So I want you to make sure your hips are square. I want you to come back a little. There you go. And lift. Again, at home, I want you to focus on position. Your knee is locked and loaded. That's so important. Knees locked and loaded. You're looking good. Think and breathe. Every exercise, they're just using slight muscles. We're using small muscle groups. So you have the time to really breathe and think about your form while you're doing the exercise. Your hips always want to be stacked, one on top of the other. You want to be resting your neck so that your back's nice and straight. Wonderful. Looking good. And you want to breathe. Breathe the whole time. Breathing in and out. We've just got 3 more. Give me 3 more lifts. Up and down. Up and back down. Give me 1 more. Last one. And now we're going to switch our exercise to the front leg. Okay, so switch your position, and this time we're working the back leg here. So I want you to take your front leg and tuck it behind. Meg, tuck your leg behind. Good job. You do the same, Carol. Tuck your back leg back. Great. And this time, lock and load. That's going to be my new slogan. Lock that knee and load, and then we're going to lift up. Now, as you lift up, I want you to glance down and make sure you can't see your knee. It's really important that you can't see your knee, because that means you're in the right position. Always want to be back so that you're lifting up, you're dropping down, and you've got a nice straight line here. You're looking good. Awesome. How are you getting on with those weights over here, Richie? Good. Your form is great. Your nice spinal alignment. That's awesome. You're looking good. Contract your core for every exercise. We want to give you value for money. We're working your core. We're working your adductor muscles. And that's what we want. We want to work all our muscle groups. Okay, so I want you to do 3 more for me. Nice job. Lift up and back down. Give me 1 more. And then we're going to move on to our second set. So stay on this side. Take a deep breath. And now I want you to switch back to your other exercise. There you go. We're going to be working that bottom leg again this time. So find your position, connect your core, start to breathe, lock and load, lift up and back down, lift up and back down. And now remember that every exercise we're doing is working really small muscle groups because stabilization is so important. Bob Forrester, who's put this workout together for us, he works with athletes in all levels. By doing these exercises, hopefully you're going to feel great, you're going to improve your performance in sports or just in life because you're going to be stable through your core, we're going to be improving your posture, you're going to be improving how you breathe, you're going to be concentrating on breath, breathing in, breathing out. You look great there, Meg, you look awesome. Form is great. Give me 2 more, 1 more, relax. And let's do our second set on the other side. Wonderful. So switch, get ready, lock and load. Lock and load, so important. You're nice and aligned, your hips are back. And let's lift for me. And then back down. Lift and back down. Doing a great job. You're really going to feel this right here. You're going to feel it in your outer glute. You're going to feel it down the outside of your leg. Nice job. Hold your core tight the whole time. You're breathing, your core's tight. We're focused and we're working out. We're working new muscles here, and that's awesome. All these exercises are good for your core, your legs, your upper body. It's great. Looking good. Right, we just have 5 more to go. Again, focus on the exercise. Always focusing on making sure that you can't see your knee. If you glance down, you can't see your knee. Lift up. Give me 1 more. Great. And now it's time to flip it over for our second set on the other side. So again, find your position. Make sure you're nice and aligned. And always do a self-check. Always make sure you glance down once you're in position to make sure that, there you go, making sure you can't see your knee. Leg back. And get ready, lock and load, lift up and back down, lift up and back down. Good job. Your hips are stacked, feeling good. Now this exercise, because we're working really small muscle groups, you may be struggling at this point to finish, and that's why I always let you know you are in control of your own body. I've set you 15 to do, but if you feel that you can only do 10 today, feel free to stop. If 10's your max, that's not a problem, because next time, maybe you'll get to 11, and then the more you do it, the more you're going to progress, and maybe you'll finally reach the 15. So that's great. So we have 4 more to go. Lift up and down, up and down, remembering to breathe. It feels good. We've got 2 more to go. Great job. Lift up and down. Give me that last one. Take a deep breath. Reset your legs. Switching over. Again, we're working the top leg now. Again, check your alignment. You always want to check your alignment for every exercise. So check your alignment first before we lock and load and lift and back down. Lift and back down. Continue at that rhythm. Continue to breathe. Like I said before, really focus on the muscles that you're working. Channel your energy to the muscles that you're working. Channel your thought to your alignment. Channel your thought, making sure that you're back, making sure that your hips are always stacked and your knee and toe are locked and loaded this whole time. Great job. Everyone's looking good over here. My crew's working hard. Hopefully you're working hard too. Keep it going. We've got 5 more to go. You're really going to start feeling fatigue at this point, but it's important to breathe and to make sure that you're doing the movements correct. Once you start doing them incorrect, then you lose your form. Last one. Form is important, and relax. Take a deep breath. Second set. We're lifting up and back down. Good job. We're going to do 15 of these, and you want to make sure that your knee is locked and loaded and that your hips are stacked And our reason, again, for our hand being here is to make sure you're not rocking your pelvis. It's really important that you keep your core nice and tight throughout this whole exercise. Core's tight, you're in the right position, we're working the correct muscle groups, we're lifting up, and our movement is going to be controlled, just as controlled on the way down as it is on the way up. So, so, so important that you do it right. If you're going to do it right. That's what I always say. How you feeling down there? You feeling good? You're looking great. Her form is perfect. Looking great. Let's keep going. As it starts to, you can really feel it now. This is where you dig deep inside and you really ask yourself, why am I here? I'm here because I'm trying to improve myself. I'm trying to get stable. Give me 3 more. 2 more. Great job. Awesome. Last one. And relax. Nice job. So now switch legs. Great job. Again, lock and load the knee. Stack your hips. And let's go for a lift up and relax. Lift up and relax. Now remember what I said. We always want to do a posture check. We're going to check from the head all the way down. And you're going to focus on your breathing. Now this is your last set. So you're really going to be feeling it now. And it's okay if you want to stop. If you're new to exercising, you're working muscles that you're not used to working. So I'm giving you permission here to stop. However, I want to encourage you to keep it going. We've set you 15. I want you to try and make it through the 15. But you listen to your own body and see how you do. So lifting up and down. You're doing a great job. How you doing, Meg? You looking good? Awesome. Make sure you don't lift your leg too high. Great job. And down. 2 more. And down. 1 more time up. And back down. Nice job. We're going on to our bridge. This is my personal favorite exercise. I want you to be lying on your back, feet are shoulder width apart. Engage your abs, engage your glutes, and lift up for me. Really going to lift up. And we're going to hold here for a full 15 seconds, okay? So the whole time you're up there holding, I really want you to think about 2 things. I want your core tight. I want your glutes tight. And we're coming down. Back down we go. And let's go back up. Nice job. Holding every time you come down. It's slow. It's controlled. And you want to make sure that you have a nice alignment from your knee all the way to your shoulder. If I had a straight line, it's a nice straight line. Come back down. Lift back up again. Nice job. Again, like I was saying, notice her straight line here. She's in perfect alignment. She's engaging her muscles. She's breathing. You're breathing, right? Hope you're breathing too. Keep breathing. We're going to have 2 seconds to go. Down we come. Contract the abs, contract the glutes and lift. And hold it right there. Again, you don't want any tension through your neck. So for this one, each one we do, we'll focus on something new. So this one, I want you to focus on staying nice and relaxed through your shoulders. Your abs are contracted. Your glutes are contracted. And down we go. And let's go back up for our final one. Let's make it a good one. You're feeling it now. You're feeling it in your glutes. You're feeling it in your core. But keep breathing because this is the last one. So hold it right there. Great job. Couple more seconds to go on this hold. You can do it. Make sure you don't sag down. Every time you sag, lift and relax back down. And it's time to move on to our second set of this exercise. So you've mastered it the first time round. And as we go up now into our second set, you're going to be more efficient. You're going to be better at it because you're going to remember to tighten your core, tighten your glutes. You're going to lift up and hold. And let's go with that. Lift up, hold, straight line. Do your little posture check. That's going to be my big thing. Always check yourself. Check yourself. I've told you how your body should be. And you're going to check yourself now. You're going to check you're relaxing your neck, your core's tight, and relax back down. Lifting up, straight up, contracting up. Nice job. Looking good over here. How are you doing, Richie? You're looking good. Working hard, working that core. His core is so tight that if I hit him right now, he wouldn't move. I'm not going to try it. I'm not going to put him off too much. Back down we go. Contract and back up and hold. Great. Like I said, you're really going to feel these exercises in all the muscles that you're supposed to be working. Our workout is smart, it's efficient, and we're really stabilizing your core. Coming down in 2 seconds and relax. Back up we go. We've got 2 more to go. If you're starting to feel fatigued, this is where I said, remember why you're here. You're here with me because you want to improve. That's why you're here. That's why we're breathing, and you're going to make it through. We're going to relax down and come back up for our final one. I know you're feeling it. Your hips during this exercise have a tendency to drop down. So as you start feeling tired, focus. Really think about lifting back up so you're in a nice straight line, because that's the position we're looking for. Remember to breathe. When things get hard, we forget to breathe. Come back down. Tighten your core. Squeeze your glutes. Lift up. This is your last one. I know you're feeling it now, but this is why we're here. We're here because we want to improve. We want to improve our core. So stay up. Keep clenched. Nice and tight. Pushing up through the heels every time on this. Down we go. And now we're ready for some squats. Time to get back up on your feet. Time to get ready to get going with squats. So our feet are shoulder width apart. We're nice and relaxed. Chest is high. Cross your arms out in front for me. And then sit back. Push all your body weight back into your heels. Make sure that your knee never passes your toe. It tracks over the toe but not in front. Back down you go. We're going to be holding here. Nice hold. Great job. Off you go. Now as you squat down, I want you to make sure, so you're not leaning too far forward, you lean back a little. There you go. Back up. Awesome. Now, there are levels with these squats. If you're new to exercising, it's important that you're only squatting to a 45-degree angle. So you notice how Meg over here, she's not squatting too low. If you've been exercising for a while and you're used to squats, you can squat a little deeper. And then as you become advanced, like my little advanced athlete over here, you're squatting down to a 90-degree angle. Just 2 more to go. Up we go. 1 more. Down you go. You're feeling the burn. And up we go. We're going to move on to our second set, but take a deep breath. Set yourself. Get in the right position again. Nice and high. And this set, I want you to smile because you're going to be feeling it in your quads. Arms are up. You're sitting back. We're holding. You're contracting your abs. You're staying nice and tall. Your chin's high. Your chest is high. We're not falling forward. Our weight's sitting back. We want this exercise to work our glutes. It's working your quads. You're working your core muscles. Great job. Let's go down again. We're just going to keep this. We're just doing 5-second holds, and then we're standing back up, and then we're holding for 5 seconds. And every time, as with all my exercises here, I want you to really focus on form. When you do squats right, you can't tell me one part of the body that this is not working. You're working your core, you're working your glutes, you're working your quads. It's starting to burn, but don't worry, because we've only got 1 more left. So squat down and hold. Make this your best one. Make your form and posture good on this one. Hold it right there and stand up. Great job. Now this program is for people that are dedicated to living a healthy and active lifestyle. And the more you come back and work out with us, the more you prove that you're one of those people too. So let's go ahead, rehydrate yourself after your workout. Hydrate's a great product for replacing electrolytes. And most importantly, always stretch. We stretch before our workouts and we stretch after. Thanks so much for working out with me today, and we'll see you next time.